Today's readings on the second Sunday of Advent are all about creating space. I don't know about you, but December is not about space, is it? The stores are inviting us to become involved in shopping, getting our shopping done early. And I've talked with my mother and others who are very, very preoccupied with the fact that Christmas may not come if the shopping does not get done. Now, we all know that's not true, and I'm not knocking shopping. We are preoccupied with all the preparations for Christmas. And yet, what is the season of Advent all about? It's about preparing the way for Christmas. Shopping is important. Staying informed is important, but also clearing space for God is deeply important. That's what the readings are all about today. What God wants to offer us always is comfort. But for us to have comfort, friends, we need to be able to have space. And today's readings are all about taking the space to create some wilderness in our lives. Now, students, finals are coming. Are you thinking about creating wilderness? No! You're thinking about passing your finals. That seems like the dumbest advice in the world, to create some wilderness. But we have to. If you and I don't create space, we have no room for intentionality. And I don't know about you. I'm not a political preacher. You know that about me. But it's been crazy these last few weeks. Very, very crazy. And if we create no space for intentionality, we can just make decisions that harm people. Globally, politically, but also personally. This season is about creating space to examine our hearts and our intentions. So oftentimes in our life, we can let fear guide the way, right? Fear can keep people separated. But we need to create space to reorient so that we can prepare God's path. The Gospel of Mark is a very simple gospel, one of my favorite gospels. It's simple, written in kind of rough Aramaic language. Jesus is just straightforward in the Gospel of Mark. The Gospel of Mark just starts, right? The beginning of the Gospel of Mark. And then what do we hear? John the Baptist is out preaching words that is giving comfort to people. How do you and I need comfort? Some people need sleep. I'm looking at faces, and people are just trying so hard to stay awake. And I'm not taking it personally. I'm just saying, get some sleep. So maybe comfort is about saying, I need to be able to get a little bit of sleep when I do not feel like I can. Maybe comfort is giving myself the space to be able to grieve a loss. I don't know about you, but losses take space for grieving. And if we don't do that, we have no space for living. Today's readings, friends, are all about creating space. And sometimes, isn't that the scariest thing in the world? I talk to folks, and this used to be me, and maybe it still is me, to a lesser degree, thank God, about being 50. You get older and hopefully a little bit wiser. Sometimes we're afraid to be by ourselves, huh? Because what happens? All those old thoughts, all those things that aren't reconciled, all those things that aren't unknotted. But yet in the season of Advent, we are invited to go into God's wilderness and not be assaulted, but to be loved, freed, given peace.